Thought you broke my heart. I'm going back.
Hi guys, we're back. Ghana Bound. We have the lovely Cameron and EJ back with us. You guys loved their interview so much and felt like there was more that these two could give us.
Oh, man.
So we've got them back in. We're lucky they're in Accra today. And I said, hey, let me get my gear, come straight over.
That's right.
And let's talk, guys. How you doing?
Doing fine. Been kind of busy.
Good.
Yeah, I guess that's a good thing, right? Actually, yeah, it's been pretty busy. Before we did this interview, I did an inspection in Airport Hills, and it was just supposed to be a 5-bedroom, right? My client, I asked how many bedrooms, because in other markets that I'm used to, Texas, if I say how many bedrooms, I can pretty much gauge the size, the size of the home. But not in Ghana. They build really big here, really big. And so I get there. Yeah, it had 5 bedrooms, but it didn't include the gym, the office, the 2 lounge areas. Oh my goodness! It had a walkover balcony. It was crazy.
It's a crazy 4-bedroom, right?
Oh, man, and so.
So
I
we
stopped.
underpriced it.
Absolutely. But I stopped counting at about 50 electrical outlets.
Wow. Okay. Wow. So, for those of you that don't know, we have EJ and Cameron. EJ, what are you doing here? What's your business over here?
Absolutely. I am the chief inspector and head instructor for Building Inspectors of Ghana. Not only are we an inspection firm, but we also offer training certification for building inspectors, both men and women, here in the Ghana market.
Fantastic. Cameron?
So I have a business called Standout 360. We offer 360 virtual tours for businesses, real estate, and restaurants. And then more so what I'm trying to get my hands into more is focusing on our compound, our farm, our aquaponics farm, our poultry, mushrooms, and just trying to look for more sustainable ways of living.
That's right.
Awesome. So in part 1, we got to find out you kind of got stuck here.
Yeah.
COVID.
Absolutely, yeah.
You're coming to check the place out and ended up staying.
That's right.
And so in way of preparing to come here, that was quite a shock, no?
Yeah, we weren't prepared.
You weren't prepared, but you were here. And what did you see in Ghana that made you stay?
Man, I guess, and this is the best way I describe it. When I lived in the States, I felt like maybe a fish out of water, but now it's like I'm a whale and I'm finally in the ocean. I'm in my natural habitat, subtropical. I really didn't do winters very well. I will always have, the nasal congestion, film in the lungs, things like that, seasonal allergies, things like that. But when we got here, just the weather, the greenery, the evergreens, all the diversity of plants,
Yeah.
the animals, I felt just more in my natural environment. And so that would be the most convincing thing that said, man, we can try this. Absolutely.
So you've been here now, how many years? 3, 4 years?
It was 4 years.
4
in
years,
March.
right? 4 years in March. So Cameron and EJ, 3 months in, what was you thinking? Now you're 4 years in. Has it lived up to what you thought it would be?
I think the first 2 years was like a honeymoon phase.
Right.
Even though we were committed to living here, we were very much living like tourists.
Absolutely.
We were staying in and out of hotels, running through money, just experiencing all the great, exciting city life that Ghana has to offer. But as money started to get a little tight and we had to live more modestly, we started to really see the realities of Ghana. And so now the honeymoon phase is over, and we're really, seeing it for what it is.
So from Texas to Ghana, now the honeymoon period is over. I'm sure there's many people that are thinking of coming to Ghana and want to know the real after the honeymoon.
Yeah.
What you got for us, guys? How's it been treating you? What you got?
I don't think that any amount of YouTube videos, no amount of research could have really prepared us for it, because we watched, or at least I did watch, I was subscribed to lots of
Yeah,
YouTubers that were
absolutely.
already here. My sister was already living here, but there was nothing like literally being thrown in the middle of it to prepare us for it. So now that the honeymoon phase is over, it's a bittersweet thing. We're fortunate enough that since we're living more sustainably, we're not affected as much by the woes of Ghana. Since we have our solar, we have a gas generator, we have our own borehole. We're trying our best to try to grow as much as our own food as we can. But when we come into Accra like we are in today, it's like this shroud of stress is put onto us, and I think that's probably the experience that most people will have, is living here in Ghana in city life and dealing
In
with it.
Accra.
Now, I obviously live here like you guys do, and I understand what you mean by stress, but it's kind of different to the stress that I would say we all had outside. Often you get in December, everybody piling in from England and New York and the States and everywhere, and you look at them and you can see a lot of stress.
Yeah.
But it's different, right?
Yeah.
How would you explain it, the difference between, because there's no Nirvana, nowhere's perfect, right?
Right.
But we're here, you pretty much as possible are self-sufficient, but coming into Accra, you're seeing this stress. Is it comparable to how when we were outside?
You mean compare the stress here compared to like the stress in the States?
Yeah.
No, it's different. I can't even really explain how it's different, because that stress is constant. And you
Every month.
almost get acclimated to it, so you're
Yeah.
constantly living on this high stress level. Whereas here it's, and so when you're stressed. In the US, we didn't realize that we were stressed until we
Just
got
normal.
here.
Until we got
Didn't
here.
realize the water
Yeah.
was polluted. You've always been swimming in it.
Yeah.
Right, I get you.
Absolutely.
For me, I really feel that once you're in your safe haven, Ghana gets on with itself and it doesn't mind what you're doing. Whereas outside, you wouldn't even get that.
Yeah.
It's like the government doesn't get in your business here.
That's right.
They're not going to tell you how to raise your children. But outside, it was becoming really like you want to sit in the bath with me or something. You know? Do you know what I mean?
That's right.
So, do you regret moving over?
No, and I like this question because even in the States, I had a lot to say, right, about the systematic injustice and the subliminal hidden prejudice and racism. And so, when I would speak on those things, in the best truth and experience that I can attest to, people be like, well, why don't you leave? Right? And so we did, right? And we went to a country on the African continent, which best we thought we could connect with, especially with the language being officially English. And so now that we're here, we're on the ground, the honeymoon stage is over, and we have cons to people ask the question, like, so why are you here? Like, why Ghana? And once again, I just go back to, I'm a whale now in the ocean. I'm in my natural habitat. I'm not in a fishbowl, literally, It's so restrictive in the States. The violence is just really unexpected and random. And that is one thing here that I have a peace of mind about. I mean, my children, they can go take Ubers, go places late 12 after midnight, and I don't miss a week of sleep. Like I sleep like a baby. Sometimes I wake up and I'm like, did they come home? Because I just don't have that fear. You know, of course, there's crime, and of course they shouldn't be doing that. But you know, I would never allow them to have the freedom and get to move around in the states like they do here.
Okay. So if any, Cameron, if any, what do you think you've had to sacrifice in this move over to Ghana? I have to say if any, because maybe you don't feel like you've sacrificed anything.
So I guess financial security, you know, because we always felt like if we had to, if money was the issue, we knew where and how to get it.
Yep, absolutely.
But we've traded that financial security for self-sufficiency. So, while I think sometimes I miss like being able to just, if I need it, I can just go out and get it. We can figure out a way. We've changed it for being completely reliant on ourselves, and that actually is brings a little bit more peace.
Yeah.
Because it is just up to us, and there's not a lot of other interfering factors.
It's a really twofold experience. You know, just as much as I can speak on the good and the peace of mind, there's much wahala, problems, and violence, you know. So there's always trade-offs, you know, to just be quite honest. But we notice in the social realm, social medias, YouTube videos, they tend to kind of give one narrative to relocating to Ghana specifically. And, you know, we just really want to, you know, openly and transparently let everyone know that the grass isn't always greener. You know, if you come in here expecting to have America in Ghana, if you're expecting to be American in Ghana, and you know, you'll be in for a great culture shock. And so that's one of the things that I've always been told. Calm down. Oh my goodness, you know, I've never been told to calm down so much like I have here. But it's really the truth. You have to calm down, and a lot of expecting things that you just think is the order of the day, best practice, those things just aren't displayed in this market, you know. So
one thing I was going to add as a sacrifice that's been more relevant to our family recently is the healthcare system.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, there was always this assurance that in the U.S. now, while you do have to have insurance and it's not free, for the most part, if you're injured, you can go into an ER and you can get treated.
Absolutely.
Literally here, I've heard stories here where there were people who like got into a car accident, maybe they were unconscious, and the hospital's trying to find someone to pay before they even really start to treat them. So with my mother, she's battling cancer. My sister had some issues. My son has had some issues. Having this cloud of health concerns is an issue here because the healthcare system isn't exactly what we're accustomed to, and it costs. Everything's out of pocket.
Just not as equipped.
Yeah.
No.
You know.
No, like literally, a few months back, our son got really sick. He had a severe fever, and usually I try to stay calm, but he was shivering, and I gave him medicines and stuff. I took him to a doctor. They said they gave him maybe like some type of antibiotic, and they sent him home, but it didn't get better. So then I took him to Bank Hospital, which is probably the in my opinion, from what I've seen, one of the highest quality types of hospitals. So
anyone we told we went to that bank, they were like,
yeah, state of the art equipment. You know, I got him in immediately. He was seen. They end up admitting him, and I'd already tested him for malaria, but it must be malaria. If you break a toe, it must be malaria.
Everything's malaria.
Yeah.
In Ghana, everything.
So I was like, you know, I had to battle with the doctors on that. They were keeping him on round-the-clock paracetamol to keep his fever down, which I have a problem with because I understand more of the holistic approach, and a fever is there to help kill those
Yeah.
things. And so you need to have a fever, and you can't stay on these things around the clock 'cause you don't even know. You can't really evaluate how you're healing. They tried to say all kinds of things. They said he had toxic blood. What was the word that he said?
I don't
Sepsis.
know.
They said, "Oh, he must have sepsis." It's just really freaking me out, and it really pushed me in my faith to either lean to these healthcare professionals or lean
right.
to my faith in the Most High, and also what I just know as a mother. And fortunately, I have a client who's a doctor in the U.S. and they ran some blood work. I sent it to him. He said, "Oh, it's obvious. It's hepatitis C."
Mm.
I told the doctor it's hepatitis C. "Oh no, it's not. He could have malaria. He could have this." I'm like, "Can you test for it at least?"
Yeah, just test for it.
And they charged me. They ran a panel, but they only did A and B. This is the kind you get for like STDs and
Absolutely.
drug abuse. And so the next day when the blood work comes in, he's like, "No, he didn't have hep." I'm like, "Did you check for C?" And so they had to run it again, and to tell me that the lab isn't even at the hospital. They have to send it away, and it's going to take a few weeks. And they wanted him to continue to stay in the hospital. And I just, the last night I said, "You're not giving him any more paracetamol." I just evaluated him. I prayed, and I told my son we're going home.
Absolutely.
I believe all the tests are done in Osu. There's a massive lab out there that everybody sends their lab work to.
You really can't trust it, I don't think. I mean, we've had other encounters, like even with my mother, with her leg. She had a mass in her leg that first got diagnosed here. They didn't know what it was, so we sent her to the U.S. And then she went there, and they did a bone biopsy and said that it's not cancer. She didn't think it was cancer. She thought it was osteomyelitis, an infection in the bone, which she got from falling in a gutter here in Ghana. It scraped her leg, and it was really gross.
Do not walk on gutter coverings.
No.
Sometimes they'll put wood,
Even if it's cement, it's not reinforced.
Yeah, just don't walk on the gutters.
Yeah, she fell in, cut her shin, and got infected. More than likely, it's a osteomyelitis. We brought her back here because even in the U.S., when it comes to more specialized treatment like that, you have to have insurance. So
Yeah.
they didn't treat her. So
Wow.
we had to bring her back here. Finally, they did a bone biopsy, and they cleaned it all out. They did all kind of stuff, and like 4 weeks later, we get the bone biopsy back, and they said that she has cancer in her leg. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, because the biopsy in the U.S. said that it wasn't. And again, I've already had experiences with Bank Hospital. Again, we've already had experiences where their lab stuff is faulty. Because we finally got my son's Hep C back, and it showed that he was not positive for Hep C, but he had the Hep C antibodies, which means he had recovered from it.
Yeah.
And he's never had this experience before, so more than likely that's what it was.
Oh, wow, that's a lot to go through. And definitely something to think about in relocating. A lot of people have a fantasy of coming in old age, and I'm not sure Ghana's the right place that you come to retire to. I know Stevie Wonder's come over, but I know he's in a different tax brackets even.
And that's the thing with Ghana. Like, you can come here and not miss a beat.
Yeah.
And live, but you're gonna pay. And I think for that level of cost or expenditure, I just think that I don't know, it's just more insightful or more much more useful ways to use that bulk sum of money.
I got you.
I think that as an African American, and the African Americans that want to come to Ghana, it's the most convenient place to come. But I don't think that we all need to set our sights on this being the permanent place. When we came here, it was with the idea this will be our permanent place, and it very well may be. But now that we've got our foot on African soil, I think that we owe it to ourselves, and anyone who comes here owes it to themselves to evaluate the whole
Continent.
scene, the whole continent, and really find a place where you really fit. This is a good landing pad.
Absolutely.
They say it's the gateway to Africa.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I get that. So let me ask you a question. I give you a bag here, and I need you to put in an emergency kit or a kit for relocation that you'd give to another couple from Texas. What would you put in that bag for them?
Wow.
What would they need? Maybe that you didn't think, or it doesn't have to be material things,
Yeah.
but just what would you put in a bag and give to someone just about to leave Texas and come into Kotoka Airport?
I give them their Ghana card, their driver's license, their insurance that needs to be visible on their vehicle, CD plates. Yeah, definitely those things are a must, because when you get here, trying to kind of get it yourself or to commission somebody to do it for you, even if that's the right thing to do, it just causes a lot of room for mishandlings and bad things to occur. So, if they could put together this welcome kit, and it has, those items in it, you will really start out okay, because you'll be able to go to the bank, open your bank account. That way you can manage your finances. You'll be able to get your Momo.
Yeah.
Oh, you need your Ghana number.
TIN number.
Yeah, that's what I would.
And there needs to be, you need to know your Ghana name. And you need to know how to respond to Etise, Mekwaba.
So the basics in communication. Okay.
There are just certain essential things that you see that when you begin to build rapport, they really appreciate. Ghanaians appreciate when you try to learn the language and you in the chop line with them, or able to really relate to some of the woes that extend beyond just a foreigner living here, but even they go through it.
Yeah.
And so I find in a lot more cases that I'm able to connect with people, just on the streets, because these things, it's wahala to have, but yeah, definitely.
You forgot the patience.
Yeah,
A backpack for the patience. That's in another bag completely.
Yeah. But with those items that I stated, it won't be much room for much patience. I think realistically, it's a huge culture shock to begin to coexist and live with anyone, let alone someone whom you have a different culture, and so it's it can be challenging, but it works.
Definitely.
It works.
Talking about, it's funny.
And it's a difference. I'm sorry. And it's a difference between the people that are like in Accra and then the people outside of Accra. Like it's literally two different worlds. And so you'll see a lot of people say, "Well, where are you?" There are a lot of our colleagues that stay on the outskirts, and we have more. It's just when you come into Accra.
City folk is different, right?
Yeah.
Man,
You was gonna say, Cameron?
When we were talking about patience, literally, like, you need all the fruits of the spirit to be able to operate here. You definitely need love, and you need love just for humanity in general. Because as soon as you get here, one of the first things you're gonna do when you get off from the airport is see someone begging. You'll see probably a child in your window looking like this.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to have love for humanity. You have to have a spirit of peace, because coming from America, we're so stressed and we're quick to jump up.
Man.
I was thinking when we drove in today and someone touched our window, like a kid did that, or even adults would tap on the window. I was thinking if someone just picked them up and dropped them like in a city and they did that, they could get shot.
They'll get
Yeah.
shot.
Yeah, like touching my car, you really feel like you
You've been
physically
violated.
touching me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have to have peace, you have to have patience, you have to have kindness, faithfulness, gentleness, and most importantly, you have to have self-control.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I would, if I could package that all up and give it to someone, that's what I would give along with an international phone.
An international.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Okay.
You need, what is it, Skylink?
Something like that. I mean, we have T-Mobile, we have an international
Right.
plan on our phone.
That's
The
Skylink.
internet doesn't work that great, but still, it allows us to call home. Because people in the U.S., at least our friends and family, act like WhatsApp is just, they seem so burdened.
They don't use
by
it. And it's a pretty useful app.
Yeah.
I don't know why more Americans, why they
Is it not used in America that much?
No.
Really?
No.
Wow.
Very
okay.
We have to beg our family and friends to
And,
download WhatsApp.
and when you have an American that has WhatsApp, you're like, what? You got WhatsApp? It's like, and they're like, yeah, I've had it. Like, so I don't know how
Usually,
that got missed.
everyone I see who has it, like my contacts, they're usually Hispanic. So most people who travel,
Who travel
yeah,
international
they
have
have
it. That's true.
Wow. Okay, I never knew
That's
that.
true.
That's some of the difference from
That's true.
from Europe and the States.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody and his dog has WhatsApp outside.
No, not in the States.
Oh, okay. Okay. Wow. Well, we're about 27 minutes in. It just feels like a blink of a
Yeah,
conversation.
it did. It really is.
But I'm sure we'll try and get you back in again.
Yeah.
We'll have a look. These two are very active in the comment section, guys. So if you have questions or you're trying to reach out, they pretty much always respond. If not on the same day, within a week, I've
Yeah.
seen answers pop up. So hey, don't be afraid. Reach out in the comment section, guys. And as ever, don't forget to keep it Ghana bound. Like, share, and subscribe. And hey, we'll see you in the next one, guys. Bye.
Today's video is brought to you by Kuro Africa. It's a complete game changer for anyone who wants to invest in Ghana.
That's right. Say goodbye to guesswork, prices driven by your accent,
And lack of information.
and say hello to data-driven decisions on your next investment in Ghana.
Kuro has analyzed over 2 million real estate listings covering 4,000 unique neighborhoods, helping you to compare location prices, view detailed price ranges, and even analyze historical trends for your exact requirements. You can even convert prices into major Western currencies right there in the tool.
It's not only the data. Kuro has vetted featured properties that you can inquire about and view quickly their price against the rest of the market with the price indicator feature.
Kuro also includes 17,000 schools, 4,000 hospitals, 1,000 attractions, and a growing library of infrastructure projects that could help you anticipate hotspots for investment growth. We all need that.
Kuro even has population data, helping you understand the makeup of an area, the age and gender distribution, and even what people are doing for work and education and unemployment levels.
But Sam, that's not all. Kuro has a series of insight articles and resources tailored to those seeking to move, to invest, or do business on the continent. Kuro is your one-stop shop for in-depth insight for planning and executing smart decisions in Ghana and soon across the whole continent. Join the most informed investors in Ghana and try Kuro for free right now at kuroafrica.com.